Okay, let's add 1 cup of water. Now, let it simmer for 15 minutes. Drink the tea and eat the fruiting bodies. This is the only tea in the world that will lower your proteinuria by 36% and your creatinine levels by 18%. Catherine here. I've been working with kidney disease patients for almost 10 years now, and this tea is easily one of the most powerful natural medicine I've come across in my career. Today, I will show you how to acquire the ingredients, how to prepare it, and what to expect in terms of benefits from this incredibly powerful tea. Guys, if you have been following me here regularly, you may already know that I like to keep the number of herbal medicines that I recommend to a minimum. I mean, I get a lot of comments asking me to talk about this hype new product or that new thing, but more often than not, I end up not talking about them. And the reason is simple. Most patients are already taking a huge amount of pills from prescriptions. To that, we must add the vitamins. There are vitamins that kidney disease patients need to take, even if their diet is perfect. Then, there are some supplements that are so beneficial that even doctors are prescribing them, such as sodium bicarbonate and a probiotic. I mean, it's definitely a huge amount of pills and supplements, and this may create a risk for unwanted interactions and side effects. So, experimenting with herbs and supplements is not something I recommend to those with kidney disease. You may now understand why I don't like to talk about herbal preparations or supplements that have not been studied in depth enough or that are just the hype of the moment. But this herbal medicine here is different. This one is something with a proven track record. In China, dialysis is not the only therapy for kidney failure. They use this herbal medicine to prevent it. And well, it works! There are studies conducted with the Western scientific method to prove that the Chinese approach at treating kidney disease really works. In this study, stage 4 CKD patients lowered their creatinine levels by an incredible 18.3% in just 3 months, just thanks to a tea similar to what I will share with you today. In a review of 22 studies on it, almost 1,000 CKD patients were found to have significantly lowered their creatinine levels. Now, these patients were not on dialysis and were still following the prescribed therapies for kidney disease. So, just by adding one single herb to their regimen, these patients greatly reduced their creatinine levels, reduced proteinuria and also hemoglobin and serum albumin levels. This basically means an all-around improvement in kidney health and kidney function. What this also implies is that this tea is safe and that there are no serious interactions with the most common prescriptions for kidney disease. Okay, I bet some of you guys already know what this is. Yes, I'm talking about cordyceps, one of the most powerful herbal medicines for kidney disease. Now, what not many people know about cordyceps is that its main benefit is not to lower creatinine levels. Cordyceps is incredibly powerful when it comes to stopping proteinuria. Why is it so important to lower proteinuria levels? If there is one thing that can make all the difference between ending up in dialysis and reversing kidney disease, it's proteinuria levels. Proteinuria levels can actually tell your future. Fact: having unusually high levels of protein in the urine means your kidney function is going to get worse fast. And while for those without diagnosed kidney disease, seeing a foam in the urine means that their kidneys are actually being damaged, the best nephrologists actually use proteinuria levels to reliably predict if a CKD patient will have kidney failure in the near future. Yes, this level here is even more important than GFR or creatinine when looking at your analysis. So next time you get tested for kidney function, pay special attention to your ACR and your proteinuria levels, no matter what stage of CKD you may be in. So now the question is, should you take cordyceps in pill form or buy it dried and make tea? Both forms have their own pros and cons. Cordyceps extract may be made to guarantee a certain amount of cordycepin, the most powerful active ingredient in this fungus. This is important because in one of the most complete studies on cordyceps for CKD, researchers were able to isolate what components of the cordyceps can treat kidney problems, which is cordycepin. So if you want to buy cordyceps in extract form, double check that the producer was able to certify cordycepin percentage. But on the other hand, there's more to cordyceps than cordycepin alone. Research has proved that cordyceps militaris bodies are made up to 35% beta-glucans. Now, beta-glucans are amazing. Beta-glucans are soluble fibers that come from the cell walls of certain bacteria, fungi, and yeasts. They have some incredible properties for heart health, and they are also able to reduce cholesterol absorption. Apart from beta-glucans, cordyceps militaris in his final stage of growth of forming and dispersing its spores develops very unique and powerful compounds such as adenosine, cardamine, ergosterol, and vitamin B12. All these compounds have unique properties, and vitamin B12 alone is probably worth the extra time spent making the tea. So to summarize, there are a variety of medicinal compounds present in the dried cordyceps that are really good for us and that are part of the reason why this fungus is so great against kidney disease. Okay guys, ready to make some tea? Let's take a look at the science of brewing cordyceps tea. So you've got your mushrooms. Now, how to use them to their full potential? The trick to getting a quality functional mushroom tea is proper brewing. Members at Buster University have been conducting tests with cordyceps and has found some really exciting results. They have tested fresh versus dried. They have experimented with water temperature and brew time. So what we will see next is the perfect scientifically proven way of brewing cordyceps tea. First of all, we need 250 milliliters of water. That's about 1 cup. And also we want to use dried cordyceps 5 or 6 fruiting bodies. This is the perfect ratio according to scientists at Buster University. And I really believe in the research they make there because, as you may already know if you watch my videos, Buster University is the most prestigious natural medicine university in the world. In my recent video, I talked about its founder, Dr. Joseph Pizzorno, who shared with us his strategy to stop kidney disease progression. It's up here, by the way, if you want to know more. So, what we want to do is to put 5 to 6 fruiting bodies in 250 milliliters of water. Keep boiling cordyceps bodies in water for 1 minute. Now, after 1 minute of the hard boil, put the flame at the lowest setting. Cover the vessel with a lid and let it simmer for another 15 minutes. The studies have concluded that it is best to brew the dried mushrooms for 15 minutes covered. Longer steep times degraded the compounds and shorter times did not extract nearly enough. This amount will brew a potent 8-oz cup of tea, but you may be flexible with the volume of water and increase if desired. Serve and drink your refreshing cordyceps tea preferably after breakfast and lunch. And remember, never throw away the bodies. Eat them or toss them into your meals or soups since they are incredibly rich in vitamins and nutrients, great for a renal diet. And if you want to know what vitamin-rich superfoods are a must in a kidney diet, watch my video up here in this. Supplementing 2 micrograms of this vitamin resulted in a reduction in proteinuria levels of 34% in just 24 hours. The kidney patients were able to keep the improved levels for the entire duration of the study. If there is one thing that can make all the difference between ending up in dialysis and reversing kidney disease, it's proteinuria levels. Having unusually high levels of protein in the urine means your kidney function is going to get worse fast. On the other hand, there is a vitamin that can lower your proteinuria levels naturally, protecting and improving the health of your kidneys. This is why today I want to focus on the most important vitamin there is for the health of the kidneys. Getting the levels of this vitamin back in balance means delaying dialysis by decades in some cases. This is vitamin D. We know today vitamin D is more important for kidney health than we ever imagined. The rate of low vitamin D levels in people with kidney problems is incredibly high. About 90% of kidney patients have low levels of this key vitamin. And that's the problem. Vitamin D supports normal kidney function but also immune function, respiratory function, bone health, and more. Deficiencies are, however, extremely common. The kidney is the organ supposed to convert vitamin D into the active form. And while vitamin D supplements can help, this vitamin comes with a warning. When supplemented alone, vitamin D may cause calcium to accumulate in the arteries. Absolutely not something you want. But if you supplement this vitamin in combination with one key mineral and one supporting vitamin, it can change your life. Because now you will feel more energized during the whole day, and all the extra calcium this vitamin is letting your body use will go straight to your bones and not your arteries. This is how you repair your kidneys. Today we are going to see exactly how to do this. Question: what happens to the kidneys when vitamin D levels get back to normal? Vitamin D directly protects the kidneys. It reduces inflammation, fibrosis, and it helps balance calcium and phosphorus. This happens because a lack of vitamin D causes an inappropriate activation of the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system. And that's bad. It directly causes kidney and heart damage and high blood pressure. You may have heard about the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system because that's what you are going to modulate when taking an ACE inhibitor or an ARB. These are the most common blood pressure medications prescribed to those with CKD, and they all act on a renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system. Vitamin D does the same, but in a natural way. That's how it protects you from proteinuria. And this also means that when vitamin D levels are low, medications such as ACE inhibitors and ARBs don't work as they should, and kidney damage occurs. This is why it is even more important to make sure vitamin D levels are correct if you are taking a blood pressure medication. So now you may ask, how can I tell if my vitamin D levels are low? Fatigue, joint, bone, back, and muscle pain, but also hair loss are very common. Symptoms of a lack of vitamin D. Vitamin D is also needed by the immune system, so regular sickness or infection and impaired wound healing are listed as symptoms, but also low mood and in some cases depression. Now, if vitamin D levels drop too much and there's a real deficiency, cardiovascular conditions, autoimmune problems, neurological diseases can happen. And while these are not common, usually patients are treated for a vitamin D deficiency when they have a history of fractures. Now guys, kidney disease itself is a risk factor for vitamin D deficiency, so don't wait until something breaks. My advice here is to do regular blood analysis to assess vitamin D deficiency if you have kidney disease. Question: is it possible to improve vitamin D levels with a diet? Eating foods rich in vitamin D is not easy for people with kidney problems. There are a few food options that we may consider. Milk and cheese are good sources of vitamin D, but they are usually forbidden in a renal diet for their phosphorus content. Fish, including salmon, herring, sardines, but also eggs, are good sources too. These foods are, however, usually forbidden in a renal diet due to the protein content. They may be good for people on dialysis and for those in the early stages of CKD though. Now, one food that you can actually eat that is rich in vitamin D is shiitake mushrooms. My advice here is to find shiitake mushrooms that have been sun-dried. These mushrooms directly absorb vitamin D from the sun just like our skin does. Should you supplement vitamin D if you have kidney disease? Since it's very hard to get enough vitamin D from the diet, it's usually recommended to all kidney disease patients to supplement between 600 IU and 2000 IU daily of vitamin D3. Doing blood analysis to check for vitamin D levels will help your doctor giving you the perfect dose, but it's very unusual that kidney patients do not need vitamin D. So consider a supplement in any case. Is supplementing vitamin D alone safe? Vitamin D in the doses recommended to most CKD patients should not be supplemented alone. Magnesium and, even more important, vitamin K2 are needed for it to be safe and effective. Magnesium is needed for the metabolism of vitamin D. This mineral may be depleted when supplementing vitamin D, causing high blood pressure. According to recent studies, taking 300 to 400 milligrams daily of magnesium oxide is the best way of keeping this mineral in the correct range. But while you should always take vitamin D in the morning, I recommend to supplement magnesium in the evening though, since it helps you sleep. Now guys, magnesium is not something we should underestimate. Keeping this level in the correct range can make a huge difference for someone with kidney problems. And also never supplement vitamin D without vitamin K2. Vitamin D transports dietary calcium throughout your body. Vitamin K2 helps make sure the calcium ends up where it belongs, absorbed by your bones. Which vitamin D supplement should you take? There are many supplements available on the market, but not many of them are made with the needs of those with kidney problems in mind. On my website, newhopeforkidneypatients.com, you can find the only multivitamin supplement made from a kidney patient for kidney patients. Robert, the owner of this brand, is a kidney disease patient and an internationally known kidney health expert. He has helped thousands of people taking better care of their kidneys thanks to products like this one. This is why Kidney D also comes with vitamin K2 in the right dose, which is crucial when taking vitamin D. Check video description for more info about this. And as usual, consult your doctor if you plan to start supplementing any vitamin or if you believe you need to change your doses. This is especially important because in some cases supplementing vitamin D is not enough to get serum levels back to normal. What if supplementing vitamin D3 is not enough? For some patients, unfortunately, regular vitamin D3 supplements are not enough, not even those made with high standards and with the appropriate dose. This happens because the kidneys are the organ responsible for turning vitamin D into its active form needed by the body, and in certain cases, especially in patients in the advanced stages, the kidneys cannot activate enough vitamin D. Now, if this is your case, don't worry. Today, there are already activated forms of vitamin D available that your doctor can prescribe to you. I'm not talking about vitamin D3. I'm talking about medications called vitamin D analogs. These include calcitriol, paricalcitol, calcifediol, and more. The correct type of vitamin D analog depends on your serum levels and on your thyroid hormone levels. Blood analysis are required for your doctor to make the right prescription if you need a vitamin D analog. Remember that correcting this very common deficiency is key to improve kidney health. Now guys, today we have seen how to fight proteinuria with vitamin D. And if you want to know more about the vitamins that can really make a difference with kidney health, please watch my video up here. And this is Today, we will see the 6 foods every single patient absolutely needs if they want to stop kidney disease. These foods contain all those vitamins and nutrients most are deficient in. And I'll tell you this straight. You need to make sure you have 0 nutritional deficiencies if you plan to stop kidney disease. Guys, it's no secret that the diet is key to avoid dialysis. And I've met people who were almost giving up. But some of them found ways to stop the progression of kidney disease and some to reverse it. But these problems are not going to go away by themselves. You need to beat this disease. So if you suffer from kidney problems, don't be afraid. Don't be scared, and most importantly, never give up. In this spirit, today we will see what foods contain the most important vitamins and minerals to stop and reverse kidney disease. These are 6 nutrients you always want to keep in the right range. Number 6. This is an essential mineral which is often too low in those with CKD. Many medications can deplete it, including blood pressure medications. Now, when a deficiency of this mineral is present and not treated, people are more likely to end up in dialysis. The key mineral in this study is zinc. Now, zinc is a very important mineral because having too little of it can cause several problems. It can impair the immune system, it can influence the body's sodium and potassium status. It can also cause low testosterone and ED in men.
Okay, cool. No, I don't want any of that.
In that case, make sure you are not deficient in this mineral. Luckily, there are quite a few zinc-rich foods you can have in your diet. One of the best is wild rice. Wild rice is maybe the best rice there is for people with kidney problems. Wild rice can contain as much as 30 times the antioxidants as white rice. It is low on the glycemic scale and packs a lot more fiber than white rice, and it also has some magnesium and B vitamins, all very healthy. It's also a good source of antioxidants while being lower in phosphorus and potassium than brown rice. Wild rice may look like the perfect choice when it comes to zinc too. Other sources of zinc include wheat germ, lentils, oatmeal, quinoa, shiitake mushrooms, and spinach. Now, when tackling a zinc problem, we must be aware that most common cause is not a lack of zinc in the diet. There are many medications that deplete the body of zinc, putting you at risk for a deficiency. These include antacids such as Gaviscon and Pepto-Bismol, but also diuretics and blood pressure medications such as Zestril, Lutantine, and other ACE inhibitors. Be careful with this. ACE inhibitors in particular have been in the middle of a big controversy lately, and some doctors are stopping to prescribe them to CKD patients. It has never been so important to find foods that can actually lower blood pressure naturally, and our number 4 for today will help you do just that. This is a food that is so rich in phytonutrients, it's actually going to help you fight inflammation and to lower cholesterol levels. It also has cardioprotective, neuroprotective, and antioxidant benefits. I'm talking about dark chocolate. And yes, dark chocolate may actually help you lowering your blood pressure.
I don't believe you!
Okay, but it's true! Dark chocolate is a superfood disguised as a tasty treat, and a large meta-analysis found out that it can significantly lower blood pressure in people with hypertension. This is a review of 18 publications that span over 50 years. Yeah, it's pretty solid data. What they found out is that hypertensive patients were able to reduce their blood pressure by 5 over 2.7 millimeters of mercury on average when consuming a small amount of dark chocolate daily, which is very significant because we are talking about a food and not a remedy or a medication. Do you believe me now? And by the way, researchers believe that this incredible result is due to the polyphenols content of cocoa. These polyphenols will basically increase nitric oxide presence in the body, which in turn promotes vasodilation. Vasodilation means that your arteries will become naturally a bit wider and they will bring more oxygen to tissue and organs while lowering blood pressure. Other foods that can help you do this include pomegranate, citrus fruits, leafy greens, especially spinach and arugula, and obviously beets. Beets are some of my favorite blood pressure lowering foods. They are amazing, and I've actually made a video to show you how to make a smoothie that greatly lowers your blood pressure. Our number 4 is a nutrient that even alone was proven able to reverse kidney disease.
Oh wait, this is interesting.
Recent study linked this mineral both to a rapid increase in GFR and also to a whopping 13% decrease in creatinine that was obtained in just 6 weeks. This is an essential mineral that's present in this tasty snack you see here. I'm talking about selenium. Selenium will improve kidney function by directly lowering inflammation and oxidative stress. This is what researchers says about it. And one of the reasons this mineral is so useful for us is our soil. We used to get plenty of this essential nutrient in our food, but the soil is so depleted now that getting enough selenium is a concern even for the general population. Actually, a low intake is found in most developed countries and is associated not just with a faster decline in kidney function but also with increased cardiovascular mortality, increased inflammation, and with ED in men. Following a plant-based diet is another reason why you may have low levels of this key mineral. To avoid a dangerous selenium deficiency, add to your diet Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts are not very easy to find, but many well-stocked grocery stores carry them. They taste really good and are a great snack, not to mention that science considers this tasty snack a true healing food. Brazil nuts are incredibly rich in selenium. There's almost more selenium in one of these than in one of these. And it's very bioavailable too. Seriously, it will be better to treat Brazil nuts as a supplement rather than a food, given that just 2 of these have around 200% of your daily dose of selenium. You should never eat this superfood with abandon. Time now to see one of the nutrients you need the most in your diet if you want to lower your creatinine levels. Eating just 5 to 10 grams of this nutrient is proven to lower your bad cholesterol by 10 points or more. This nutrient is also a must for those with diabetes. Consuming more of it lowers blood sugar by 28% according to research. And this is not all. If eaten in a reasonable amount, this nutrient is also capable of lowering your blood pressure by 15%. And a diet rich in this nutrient is associated to a slower decline in kidney function. I'm talking about dietary fiber. Yes, it's proven that getting as close as possible as the recommended daily intake of fiber can really help the kidneys. In a large review of studies, patients in stage 3 and 4 of CKD were able to lower their creatinine levels at the point that their kidney function completely stabilized. Some were even able to improve their kidney function and just by eating more fiber-rich foods. Fiber is undoubtedly an essential part of a healthy eating plan. There is only one problem with it. Unfortunately, 95% of Americans don't eat enough of it, according to a recent study. And if you have CKD, it may be even harder to get enough of this nutrient since many healthy sources are on the list of foods to be avoided. And while in general, eating more fruits and vegetables is the way to go when it comes to dietary fiber, there is a little known food that can make a lot of difference.
Sounds interesting.
This is spaghetti squash. It looks like pasta, but it isn't. A healthy alternative for people who want to avoid both pasta and squashes. This is basically the squash with the lowest potassium you can find. There is also a lot of fiber and you can cook this squash to make it look and feel like spaghetti. A food to try. Number 2 is a vitamin that's proven to slow down kidney disease. Trust me when I say you don't want to be deficient in this one. In a large study on CKD patients, those having high enough levels of this vitamin had a 44% slower decline in kidney function. This was a very large study, by the way, conducted on more than 15,000 patients over the course of more than 4 years. What is proved is that eating more foods rich in this particular vitamin can make you avoid dialysis for several years. At least this vitamin is folate or vitamin B9. Folate plays a key role in breaking down homocysteine, an amino acid that can exert harmful effects in the body. Homocysteine is linked to increased risk of cardiovascular disease, end-stage renal disease, and death. To fight it, eat more foods rich in folate. One of my favorites is okra. Okra is a green tube-like fruit with a mild flavor. It acts as a thickener, so it is most commonly used like a vegetable in soups, but you can also eat it roasted as a side dish. It's cultivated in warm and tropical climates, southern parts of the US, but also India, the Philippines, and many countries in South Asia. Okra is incredibly healthy. Just 1 cup, around 100 grams of okra, contain around 15% of the DV for folate. Okra is also an excellent source of vitamin C, magnesium, and vitamin B6. If this isn't enough, okra is especially useful for those with diabetes. It contains an active compound that was linked to lower blood sugar levels. Other great sources of folate suitable for a renal diet include legumes, asparagus, leafy greens, and citrus fruit. Time for our number 1 now. This mulberry is one of the few foods in the world that has actually been shown able to directly improve kidney function. This is blueberry. Berries in general are considered the best friends of your kidneys because they're low in potassium and very rich in vitamins. They are also a diabetes superfood because they're packed with antioxidants and fiber, but they also come with an incredibly powerful kidney protecting benefit. Here's what Dr. Pizzorno says about this superfood. A benefit that surprised me was that blueberry anthocyanins specifically protect the kidneys from bowel-derived toxins. Blueberries increase GFR in normal kidneys, but far more importantly, completely protects the kidneys from the dramatic lowering of GFR caused by gut toxins in those with impaired function. This is what Dr. Pizzorno, one of the most prominent naturopaths in the world, says about this superfood. Yes, eating blueberries does not just prevent toxins from damaging the kidneys, it may directly improve kidney function. This is why Dr. Pizzorno included these berries in his 3-step program to reverse kidney disease.
And the first part is stop damaging them, like non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, extremely damaging to the kidneys. So stop damaging the kidneys and then do things like blueberries, beet juice, chocolate, Okay.
If you want to know more about that, please watch my video up here. And this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless.